They said it was just another quiet year at the Miami Open, just another disrupted draw, but something far more disturbing had already begun unfolding quietly behind the scenes. At first, it looked like coincidence, as Novak Djokovic disappeared from the entry list, followed by whispers about others pulling out, leaving a strange and uncomfortable silence across the tournament. Commentators dismissed it quickly, analysts filled gaps with excuses, but inside locker rooms, players were already asking dangerous questions because the pattern forming was becoming impossible to ignore or deny. Right in the middle of it all stood Jannik, calm and focused, yet suddenly positioned as the center of a tournament that no longer felt normal. At first, Sinner treated it like opportunity, another chance to prove dominance, another stage to shine without legends around him, but even he couldn't ignore the growing tension surrounding every match. Matches felt different, opponents behaved oddly, and the stadium energy wasn't chaotic or electric. It felt controlled, quieter than usual, almost like every moment was being carefully managed. Then came the first sign something was wrong. A leaked conversation never meant to be heard, mentioning transition strategy and new era positioning, words that sounded more like business than sport. Fans called it fake, another conspiracy theory, but insiders didn't laugh because they had heard similar phrases before, hidden behind closed doors where real decisions were quietly made. Suddenly, Djokovic's absence didn't feel random anymore because removing the most dominant figure creates space, and that space can be shaped, controlled, and filled with a new narrative. Sinner didn't believe it at first because for him, tennis was simple: step on court, play your game, win or lose honestly, but reality around him was starting to feel very different. A staff member avoided eye contact, schedules changed without warning, restricted areas appeared overnight, and everything began to feel less like a tournament and more like something orchestrated. Then came the anonymous message, no name, no trace, just one line sent privately, asking a question that refused to leave his mind no matter how hard he tried. Ask yourself why you are here and why they are not, the message said, repeating in his thoughts every time he walked onto the court or heard the crowd react. Meanwhile, media narratives grew louder, pushing Sinner as the future, the inevitable champion, the face of a new era, and it felt less like recognition and more like assignment. Another leak surfaced, referencing audience retention and market shift. Language that felt disturbingly corporate, and buried within it was a phrase that changed everything completely. Phase 1, controlled absence, it read, forcing fans and insiders alike to connect dots they once ignored, turning coincidence into something far more calculated and intentional. Pressure built around Sinner, not just from expectations, but from the terrifying idea that his entire run might be part of a system he never agreed to join. He confronted his team demanding answers, but they had none. Or worse, they had doubts they were too afraid to confirm because the truth could destroy everything. Late one night, searching for clarity, Sinner returned to the practice courts, hoping for silence, for something real, but instead he saw something that made everything worse. A figure was training alone in a restricted area, movements precise and familiar, and for a moment, it looked unmistakably like Djokovic himself still inside the tournament. Sinner froze, trying to understand what he was seeing, but before he could get closer, the lights suddenly shut off, and when they returned, the court was completely empty. The next morning, everything continued as normal, the crowd cheering, cameras rolling, narratives intact, but inside Sinner, nothing felt real or certain anymore. He won his match, but the victory felt hollow because a bigger question was now impossible to ignore, growing louder with every single step forward. Another anonymous message arrived, clearer this time, colder and more direct, confirming fears he had been trying to suppress since everything began to unravel. Winners are chosen long before the final point, it said, forcing Sinner to face a decision that could define not just his career, but the entire sport. Continue playing, follow the path, take the title and become the chosen face, or walk away and expose a system that might be controlling everything behind the scenes. The world kept watching, unaware of the truth beneath the surface, because this was no longer just about the Miami Open, it was about the future of tennis itself.